Hey there, it's Jared Hamilton with the Hamilton Group at Cherry Creek Mortgage. Welcome to another edition of Java with Jared. Happy Friday once again. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Well, interest rates finished the week this week slightly better than where they ended last week. We didn't have a lot of economic data released into the market. Everybody is just really on pins and needles really here to see what the Federal Reserve will do next week at the Federal Open Market Committee. And all indications are, and everybody's betting, that the Federal Reserve will increase credit by about 0.25%, and it will be the first Fed rate hike in 9.5 years, so almost a decade since this has happened. So it's been quite a while since we've been in a potentially rising short-term interest rate environment. And that may not be all bad for interest rates, and I'll get to that here in a second. This week we didn't see a whole lot of economic data released into the market. We did see retail sales come in a little bit higher than expected today, so it's showing that maybe the holiday season shopping will be a little bit better than expected, but again, there's still a lot of time for that to really kind of play out. But so far, so good. We also did see the producer price index come in, and that was also higher than expected, showing that there's a little bit of inflation, kind of creeping into the market. We did also see consumer sentiment come in a little bit lower than expected. But with the data that was released into the market, it was nothing very concerning regarding the economy in general, and it won't give the Federal Reserve really any pause to increase credit, which is what is planned. Now, today we are seeing the interest rate market benefiting a little bit by the stock market, and really throughout the week, taking it on the chin a little bit. The stock market has been having some difficulties here, and that is primarily due to the Federal, in anticipation for the Federal Reserve hiking credit, because that might be a slight drag on the economy. And that is why it may not be such a bad thing for interest rates. Interest rates are basically, long-term interest rates are trying to determine really what's going to happen in the future. And if the Federal Reserve actually increases credit, which people are expecting, that will make for a little bit of a drag on the economy and cause inflation in the future maybe to go down. And during the last cycle of hikes, we really do not see long-term interest rates actually get hurt terribly bad when the Federal Reserve is increasing short-term credit. Because again, remember what they're influencing here, or actually have a direct effect on, is what's called the Fed funds and the discount rate. And that's what banks are borrowing either from the Federal Reserve or from one another to meet their overnight reserve requirement. So it's just basically money that is just on a daily basis. So it's very, very short term. And again, the reason why the Federal Reserve would do that is because they're seeing maybe some inflation creep into the market, and they want to tame that down a little bit. Now, that's not really exactly why they're doing it in this particular case. Primarily, it's not because the economy is increasing too fast. It's because they want to put a few more bullets back in the gun when the economy turns around and maybe has some difficulties, so they can be more accommodative to the market and increase some liquidity into the market. So it's not because the economy is on a tear. It's really because they just want to put some bullets back into the gun, because it has been so long since they've actually increased credit. And that's why interest rates probably will not get a lot higher, and actually might even benefit here, because it's not because the economy is doing fantastic. It's primarily because the Federal Reserve just wants more ammunition when the economy stumbles maybe 2-3 years down the road, or whenever that happens. So we'll keep you informed with what's going on with next week and how the market reacted to the Federal Reserve's increase to credit. Really, what's going to drive this is, what does the Federal Reserve say? Everybody's expecting them to increase short-term credit. If they say we're increasing it now and we're going to look to increase it quickly in the future, that probably could be bad for interest rates, because 0.25% is already priced into it. But if they say we're going to do this once, hold off and see what happens, that's when we might see interest rates benefit a little bit. So we'll keep you informed. Thanks for joining me with Java with Jared. Hope you have a very happy Friday, a wonderful weekend. If you need any help over the weekend, we'll be working, so give us a call and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.